Go there and watch each and every UFC fight at the Hairy Buffalo. And let me tell you, I've been there. The people are out the door. They are to the rafters. It is one of the craziest environments for some UFC fights. Wing Mondays, they've got great deals on wings and drinks. And every day of the week, there's a different special, a different deal. And don't forget the Bison Burger, the unbelievable. It is the combination of a fantastic burger and eating healthy combined into one unbelievable sandwich. You have got to get a Bison Burger while you're there. So whatever you're looking for, whatever day of the week, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sundays, there's something for you at the Hairy Buffalo North Olmsted, just outside Great Northern Mall. Check them out today. Hairy Buffalo, join the herd.
Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. Real time spent making real decisions, creating real victory.
I'm the greatest man in the world!
And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize.
I mean, a really real prize.
Yeah.
Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs.
The trophy's 12 feet high, and it is glorious!
Football, baseball, hoops, you name it, they have it. Plus, they have awesome draft kits and party supplies to make all your preseason activities the envy of everyone. If your league needs a ring, belt, or trophy, or you want to upgrade what you already have, there's literally only one place to go. If you're going to be a fantasy jock, do it right.
It's mine, the most magnificent belt ever created, and it's mine.
With America's fantasy sports superstore, fantasyjocks.com.
What's your fantasy?
Football season is party season at Hairy Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Hairy Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Hairy Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Hairy Buffalo, join the herd.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Plagans, the voice of the Lake Erie Monsters, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back. Your dreams were...
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you, rolling on. Thanks again to my man, Kendall Lewis, the BSK, for joining us. It's been a few weeks, getting caught back up with everybody here from the holiday break. Everybody was spread all over the country and doing different things, and got a chance to catch up with Jonathan Knight in the first hour and BSK. Got my man Jeff Gorman coming up next from Browns101.com. We're going to talk some previews of NFL playoffs, divisional round coming up. There'll be 4 teams remaining when we get done with this slate this weekend. Jeff Gorman's got previews and predictions coming up next. Keep the conversation rolling with us on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix, CLE. You can email us anytime, The Sports Fix at AOL.com. Let's go to the phones right now. My man Jeff Gorman from Browns101.com. He's with us every Tuesday and Friday here on the show. Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing superb, J-Rock, especially listening to the Welcome Back Counter theme. Not only was that my favorite show when I was a kid, but we even had the board game.
Wow. Man,
yeah.
There you go, man. I didn't know any of that. I just decided, every once in a while, I just, go with different stuff on the bumper music. There you go. But works out well. How you doing, man?
Doing real good, yeah. I'm getting ready to check out some football this weekend. There's going to be, the 4 big seeds trying to hold serve at home, and it's not going to be easy for any of them. There's a couple of, very tempting upset possibilities.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're going to dive into some playoff picks and all of that here. Hey, before we do, might as well, just the open floor here, open bar, if you will. Wait, never mind. Johnny, calm down. I didn't literally mean open bar. Manziel's going to be hitting me up any second now. But while the floor is open, What do you think here? Obviously, it's been a bit of a tumultuous week for the Browns, but I mean, come on. Are you really surprised? Actually, maybe so. See, we say that sarcastically, but I think that maybe what has so many people upset this week is that for once, maybe you thought just maybe, never mind.
Right, that's what's really disappointing. I mean, you come off the end of the season very disappointingly, and you're like, well, at least we're going to keep the same head coach and general manager. But then all this stuff blows up with Kyle Shanahan, and the problem they're just talking about him about possibly illegal texting going on during games, and it's just it's like, do we really have to just drag the team through the mud? Even with it's just really nice to have just some stability from the coaching standpoint. I didn't think that Kyle Shanahan was going to be a really big head coaching candidate out there, but his name was just jumping all over the place. And it's just sad that he had this acrimonious falling out with the team again after just 1 year. It's like, it'd be nice if we could keep an offensive coordinator for more than 1 year at a time. It's like searching for a Haley's Comet or a Hope Diamond at this point.
I mean, and this isn't just, I guess, specific to the Browns or even the Indians or the Cavs or any specific sports team. I guess there's a lot of teams that can fall into what I'm saying here. But just, you know what? I feel like you guys, man. Every time I want to make a point, then you just breathe and you go, why? Why even waste the breath that it's going to take to say all this and all of that? And whatever, man. We can go. We got plenty of time. You and I, we do the Browns thing every week to wax on and on throughout the off season as this thing continues. But just to sum up my feelings, and this isn't just, hey, Jeff, let's talk about how much more we know than the Browns. Here's why I should be the general manager. I'm not even talking about from that perspective. From a business, just me. I run a small business here. It's called The Sports Fix. I run another small business. It's called me, J-Rock. I market myself for the last 16 years as a wrestler, as a broadcaster, as an entertainment entity, whatever it is. So I've run several small businesses along the way, helped manage radio stations, do different things along the way, and forget knowing more than you about quarterbacks or running backs or drafting and developing just as a business owner. I don't get any business owner in any line of work that doesn't just hire the best people to work. It's my business. Like, if this thing goes south, I lose all my money. I lose everything I invested. I don't understand the philosophy of people in any line of work that do not believe in just hiring the best people to do the job and then letting them do the job. It'd be like if I went and hit the lottery yesterday and said, Jeff Gorman, what should I invest in? And you said, go buy a McDonald's. They're a gold mine. And I said, okay, I'm going to go buy a McDonald's. So I go down the street and I go buy the McDonald's there, and I walk in, and I swear, if I ran this McDonald's like the Browns or like some of these dumb sports owners do, not just in Cleveland, but all over sports, I'd walk into that McDonald's and I'd start telling people what to do, and I'd start making the burgers myself, and I don't know anything. I would just start telling people what to do, man. But if I was a good business person, I'd walk in. First off, I'd just watch it for like months and just watch what everybody does quietly and figure it out. But you walk in and you go, wait a minute, that guy has been the manager here for 5 years, and it's been the most profitable 5 years we've ever had. He clearly knows what he's doing. That's my point guy. He's going to run this place for me. All right, sir, I'm going to let you run this place. I'm not going to tell you how to cook the fries, or you go cook them. I don't know the first thing about making fries at McDonald's. All I know is how to write the check. So I'm going to write you this check, and you're going to run my McDonald's. And if you don't do a good job, I'm going to find somebody else. If you do, I'm going to let you keep running my McDonald's. And then I'm going to stand back and I'm going to let the people who have worked at McDonald's for their entire adult life run my McDonald's. Otherwise, I may end up having no McDonald's.
Right. That's the hardest part, is when you hear problems coming out of the ownership, because you know that that's something that's not going to change. I mean, you were hoping that when Haslam came over, even though he was sort of briefly, I guess, associated with even the Steelers ownership, that he would have at least learned from them how to run a successful franchise. And unfortunately, I can't put myself in the mentality of a millionaire or a billionaire, but it seems like, of course, with a lot of money sometimes comes a lot of hubris. And, a lot of times people will think that, well, I'm rich and I own all these things because I'm better than you or I'm smarter than you. And you impute a lot of intelligence and a lot of expertise to yourself that maybe isn't warranted. Whereas if, like you said, if you're really trying to run a successful business, you should be saying, I want to find someone who knows more than me. And if I'm going to pick somebody who's going to have this job, I picked him because he's smarter than me about this. I trust him more than I trust myself. And I'm going to show how smart I am by letting him make me look good.
That's it. That's what you do all across the board. And it's not just one person or one department or one coach or anything. It's every aspect. And it's not just that. It's accountability. For so long, the Browns had an atmosphere. And they have. Now, this I do know is getting better. It's still not perfect. But for years, everything was so insulated that you could just hide, not do your job and hide. And you may still get paid for 2 years before somebody figures that out because everybody was insulated. What happened? Why aren't you doing? Well, I'm not doing my job because he didn't do his job. And then, well, why didn't you do your job? Because he didn't do his job. And the buck could always be passed and no one could ever be accountable. But I mean, just in general, as a business owner, I don't mean the biggest name. I don't mean you just take, like Bruce just mentioned, Holmgren. I don't mean that. I don't mean just go hire Cower and say, you run my team. I mean, in every department, you find the guy that's in charge, and then that's it. And the Fry guy comes up to me with a question about shakes. I go, hey, you don't work in the shake department. You work in the fry department. But if you do have a question, here's the guy that's in charge of the shakes. Don't come to me. Don't go over top of them. You keep a simple order of who answers to who, organizational flow chart, and the Browns love to say they do that all the time, but I mean clearly not when you've got different groups overlapping each other. And it's not just the Browns, it's sports in general, because as you said, these guys don't play by rules because these are playthings. This isn't their business. So if it goes belly up, so what? They're one of 32 people rich enough to own one of these things, and they're going to do what they want. But it wasn't just a Haslam indictment. It's down the line. And it always strikes me as crazy that we just sit here and do this over and over when, to me, I'm not saying it's an easy fix. It will take a iron will to implement it, but it is an easy fix as far as this is the way we're going to go, plain and simple. Even if you want to say just run it like you ran Pilot Flying J, and I know some people will make jokes about being a criminal and they're charged. No, but somehow that company became huge and multifaceted. I mean, what I'm saying is Jimmy Haslam didn't run around and tell everybody how to run their trucking business. No, he was at the top on down, and I just don't get how people can get that filthy rich and then not apply those same principles to running a team, especially when running the Cleveland Browns is a freaking mint to print money. You can print money when you stink. When you're good, the money literally prints itself. You don't even have to turn on the press, and it'll just print itself, and yet still you get this over and over again, man. Anyways, forget that. Let's move on. Forget talking about the team that doesn't have it figured out just yet. There's some teams that do, and they're the 8 teams that still remain. It was funny in the last segment, BSK, when he was listing quarterbacks, and I don't even think he did it on purpose. He listed 8 quarterbacks off the top of his head, and they were all 8 quarterbacks that are playing here that are remaining in the playoffs. There's no coincidence to that at all.
Right, and that's why we have the situation that we have as far as the Browns quarterback is you're always searching and sometimes really over-gambling to find that special guy. If you can find someone who has shown specialness in the past, like perhaps winning the Heisman Trophy, you have these dreams that that's going to happen for you. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. And these are the teams that's worked out, and these are the teams that everybody's chasing. Everyone's chasing that paragon of a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and that sometimes can be really extremely rare.
You know what I decided just now? Spur of the moment, much like our Cleveland Browns, in honor of the Cleveland Browns here on this Football Friday. I think even though I have tasked Jeff Gorman with the job of previewing these games, and that's his job that I have assigned him to do. He's previewing these games for us. I think if I don't like at any point in your preview, if I don't like what you said, I think I may just change it. I may just step in and go, you know what, Jeff? No. Peyton Manning has nothing to do with this game here. Actually, we're gonna, I may just change your scouting report, because what's the point of letting the guy do what you brought him to the dance to do, man? I know better than you anyway, man. So if at any point I don't like the scouting report that you're giving, I'm just gonna tweak it, and don't worry about it, because I'm your boss. There's nothing you can do about it. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns.
Right. I will be talking, but I will be, in the back of my mind, I'll be waiting for J-Rock's silver hammer to come down on my head.
I'm just going to say no.